Rijok will be facing legal action in Dominica in relation to some of the things he has published on his blogs. He's also decided to join me, Matt Peltier, in that suit as well. But I haven't seen or haven't heard from Mr. Astafan this morning. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue to talk on that one. I heard from Mr. Kenneth Rijok. He's not backing down. And I'm hoping sometime today we will be able to speak with Mr. Rijok and try to give you more information. You know, while we are not able to independently verify, but we'll keep talking to the people of Dominica. 8:40 is the morning time.
Play loud, play bold, enjoy flexibility and best value from Digicel Play's new TV and broadband bundles. With Play Fast, enjoy 32 video channels. Play Loud gives you 46 video channels. Then there's Play Bold, 98 video channels. All bundles come with 50 music channels, 8 radio channels, and 8 megs internet. Choose the bundle that's right for you. Sign up today. Get free connection, free installation, and set-top box. Or sign up for our TV-only offer. Call 616-1700 for details.
The DPSU invites all members and all patriots to a rally for the cause Thursday, April 27th on the grounds of the DPSU building from 4:30 p.m.
We shall overcome.
DPSU, united in purpose, united in action. Come share in our luncheon on Friday, April 28th and our wireless walk to Spanning Falls on Monday, May 1st. May Day from 9 a.m. Public officers, police officers, fishermen, teachers, firemen, prison officers, all patriots rally for a just cause. Join us on Thursday, April 27th. Them belly full, but we hungry. Find the money. We say no to 000. And don't forget to pick up your DPSU t-shirts, only $30.
Well, let's go back to that story that we heard on the weekend from Senior Counsel Tony Astafan, revealing that the controversial blogger Kenneth Rijok will be facing legal action in Dominica in relation to some of the things he has published on his blogs, okay? I did have a private conversation with the blogger Kenneth Rijok. Promised to talk to me this morning, but haven't heard from him just yet. He's not backing down from the big story on the weekend. Let's listen to Tony Astafan.
After the rather ridiculous spectacle on Q95 yesterday when Mr. Rijok was invited by Matt to literally repeat and publish and disseminate absolute rubbish about the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs giving the ambassador from Morocco 10,000 passports that were being sold in Syria. And then following that, Thompson Fountain came and seek to suggest that government had to somehow answer an allegation, notwithstanding the fact he said, well, there's no evidence to support it. This must stop. Matt Peltier and Q95 have to understand that the Prime Minister and the ministers and their lawyers are not going to continue to accept him inviting Rijok to spew his poison and his lies. And I have received clear instructions to proceed either civilly or criminally in any way that I will advise to the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, and the Cabinet what needs to be done. So by Monday morning, I expect letters to go out to Rijok via email and to Matt, Q95, and Thompson Fountain by hand. It has to...
Okay, but I haven't received any letters just yet from Mr. Astafan or whatever attorney, okay? But Mr. Astafan, I'm not threatened. As I said to you, Mr. Rijok is sticking by his story, and there's another big story out on the weekend that we may want to share sometime later in the day. 8:44 is the morning time. I'm not easily moved, Mr. Astafan. We'll be talking to Mr. Kenneth Rijok sometime later. He says he won't apologize. He's going to stick by his story. On the weekend also we heard from Mr. Bernard Frampton, professor in communication. He was also monitoring that story of Mr. Rijok. Of course, Kimberly Benjamin takes a closer look. Let's take a look or listen, okay?
Of course, Kenneth Rijok's allegations that thousands of Dominican passports have ended up in Syria seem unbelievable, but that does not inherently make them true or false. Such outrageousness coming from an expert source most instructively emphasizes the urgency of sifting truth from propaganda on both sides. Personally, I am quite puzzled as to why someone who makes a living by providing credible and accurate analysis of financial crimes would make such preposterous and dangerous claims without evidence, and that nagging senselessness, along with other proven cases that make his claims plausible, partly allow me to leave room for the unknown. That's why, in a weird, quirky way, I truly welcome a court case that forces the truth out of the bullshitters. One thing is certain, I am not impressed or moved one bit by the smear campaign against Rijok that seems to have infected both pro-government and opposition factions. I hold this position for two very simple reasons. First, such a response can only inflate international anxiety and suspicion, with Dominica standing more to lose than Rijok. Second, if the government is genuinely convinced that these prolonged and extensive allegations are falsehoods, misrepresentations, or exaggerations, then the most sensible and effective response is to establish an independent commission of inquiry made up of respected local, regional, and international experts to dismiss them. That can be done right away. There is no other respected, functioning democracy facing such a threat that would not have initiated one by now. No reasonable person in his or her right mind can doubt that this spate of allegations continues to profoundly damage the image and reputation of Dominica to unthinkable magnitudes, which will be manifested in both tangible and intangible losses. My guess is that it might even take a whole generation to recuperate from this. If we are not urgently setting up an independent inquiry, but instead are doubling down on blaming Kenneth Rijok or Lennox Linton for this unprecedented infamy and vicissitude enveloping the country, then maybe we deserve all the shit we are getting for it. I, for one, stand to be affected in a very direct and real way, and so I don't intend to keep quiet about it. Not one damn bit.
And that was Mr. Bernard Frampton writing there on his Facebook page. Bernard Frampton is a professor at the University of the West Indies School of Communication. Dominican, if you're just wondering. The brother of Ferdinand Frampton and son of the late Ferdinand Frampton. I'll play that for you again. Let's listen.
Of course, Kenneth Rijok's allegations that thousands of Dominican passports have ended up in Syria seem unbelievable, but that does not inherently make them true or false. Such outrageousness coming from an expert source most instructively emphasizes the urgency of sifting truth from propaganda on both sides. Personally, I am quite puzzled as to why someone who makes a living by providing credible and accurate analysis of financial crimes would make such preposterous and dangerous claims without evidence, and that nagging senselessness, along with other proven cases that make his claims plausible, partly allow me to leave room for the unknown. That's why, in a weird, quirky way, I truly welcome a court case that forces the truth out of the bullshitters. One thing is certain, I am not impressed or moved one bit by the smear campaign against Rijok that seems to have infected both pro-government and opposition factions. I hold this position for two very simple reasons. First, such a response can only inflate international anxiety and suspicion, with Dominica standing more to lose than Rijok. Second, if the government is genuinely convinced that these prolonged and extensive allegations are falsehoods, misrepresentations, or exaggerations, then the most sensible and effective response is to establish an independent commission of inquiry made up of respected local, regional, and international experts to dismiss them. that can be done right away. There is no other respected, functioning democracy facing such a threat that would not have initiated one by now. No reasonable person in his or her right mind can doubt that this spate of allegations continues to profoundly damage the image and reputation of Dominica to unthinkable magnitudes, which will be manifested in both tangible and intangible losses. My guess is that it might even take a whole generation to recuperate from this. If we are not urgently setting up an independent inquiry, but instead are doubling down on blaming Kenneth Rejock or Lennox Linton for this unprecedented infamy and vicissitude enveloping the country, then maybe we deserve all the shit we are getting for it. I, for one, stand to be affected in a very direct and real way, and so I don't intend to keep quiet about it. Not one damn bit.
8:50 is the as I told you, that's the words of Mr. Bernard Frampton, a lecturer at the University of the West Indies, the School of Communication in Jamaica. Trying to have a personal conversation with Mr. Bernard Frampton this morning, had no luck, huh? Maybe sometime in the near future. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, good morning.
Good morning.
Matt, I don't know. Is this any worse than the fact that Mr. Skerritt had about 5 diplomatic picks that are now almost in the hands of the law or being picked up by the law, different authorities around? Is this worse? And the other thing is, Matt, I'm asking the Commissioner of Police, is there a coup going on at the police force based on what I just heard on Q95? Can that be considered a coup? Good morning.
Well, definitely the police officers are speaking out, and they have began speaking out. I haven't heard police officers speak out in a long time. Hello. 449-3095. Hello.
I say praises, thanks, blessings, and glory to all those who have sacrificed their personal safety and security trying to elevate mankind to humanity. Mr. Pelty, blessings to your family.
To you too.
God bless, bro. Mr. Pelty is very interesting. Matt, is that a movie? Is that fiction? Is that a story? Are we Alice in Wonderland? Matt, one scandal following the other. Let me give thanks to Mr. Frampton. I like the wording. You know, he's rough. It sounds rude, real Dominican. You know, not holding back any punches. Matt, listening to Daniel Carbon, who is in talk. Daniel, sorry. I'm not referring to Daniel Carbon. I'm just referring to Daniel, who is intoxicated with carbon monoxide. Seems to be some electrical appliance and have several people who hold his remote. Could Blackmore handling one or holding one? Skerritt, Tony, and all of them telling him what to do? That brother is not intelligent enough to even think for himself. So that level of victimization and nepotism and preferential treatments and everything else. Listen to what that happened in your community, Matt. Now people are summoned to enter the court, Matt.
All right, thank you. And of course, Blessings, I do apologize for cutting you off. At this time, we have a very important call there from the U.S. on this one. Of course, we've been trying to get in touch with Mr. Kenneth Rejock and this big story that broke there on the weekend. Senior counsel Tony Astafan threatening that the controversial blogger, Mr. Rejock, will be facing legal action in Dominica in relation to some of the things he has published on his blogs. Of course, Rejock, a compliance officer specializing in enhanced due diligence and financial crime consultant, has written numerous blogs about Dominica and the country's citizenship by investment program. Of course, we have a consultation going on in the next few minutes at the Fortune Hotel. In one of the blogs, he claimed that the Prime Minister, Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt, was being investigated by the U.S. authorities for his alleged role in the matter involving ex-diplomatic Ali Reza Ziba Halep Monfaret. In the most recent blog, He alleged that the ambassador to Dominica of Morocco, who visited Dominica recently, met repeatedly with the Prime Minister and alleged acquired thousands of blank officials' Dominican passports. We've not been independently, or we have not been able to verify just yet, but we followed this big story. So Mr. Rijok has been, of course, threatened with a blog, a threats lawsuit this morning and all weekend. Of course, as I told you this morning, I've been added to that suit as well. So Mr. Asafet is saying enough is enough. On the line, of course, quite exclusively at this time is Mr. Rijok. Mr. Rijok, you've heard the threat. And of course, it has been said that you will be sued by email this morning. Have you received any email, sir?
No, I have not, sir, but good morning, Matt.
Good morning to you. Good morning. What do you make of, these allegations, or not necessarily allegations, the threats against you?
Well, we have to remember that what happens when somebody raises issues in Dominica is they become the subject of a campaign, what we call Shoot the Messenger. And Shoot the Messenger, that people in the current government who are unhappy with hearing the truth take cheap shots at anybody who is a whistleblower. And if that doesn't work, they will then move on to trying to win through intimidation. Threats of lawsuits are not new. They are made daily to people who are journalists. And, bloggers are considered journalists under the law. So I welcome any new lawsuit. And remember the rule, because I've been to law school too. It doesn't take a whole lot to file a lawsuit. Winning it is another matter.
Mr. Rijok, of course, your critics have said that these are serious allegations, and how can you just ship thousands of passports outside of Dominica? Is that possible?
You have to remember that the citizenship by investment and the bogus diplomatic passport programs don't seem to be run by any kind of oversight. And as such, people who are known to be international criminals are acquiring these passports, which means that there are probably is little in the way of checks and balances. And remember that Ali Reza Monfared, in addition to having a diplomatic passport, which the government claims was revoked, has an ordinary citizenship by investment passport, which he acquired as well, and nobody has said word one about the revocation of that instrument. With respect to these issues about where's the proof, I can tell you that I don't make this allegation lightly. It came up in the past from an insider in Dominica in the government, but everybody, frankly, was afraid to talk about this because they deemed it to be so powerful that it was subject to whoever made those statements to retribution. But since I subsequently have received a confirmation from a U.S. source, I have no doubt of its authenticity. And as such, the fact that now the story going further, saying that some of these passports, to wit, approximately 2,000 of them, are now in Syria, is a clear and present danger not just to Dominica, but in the global war on terrorism. It's a clear and present danger to the Western Hemisphere. Now, I certainly expect no less from the Skerrit regime of threatening or filing some sort of bogus lawsuit. And what I say is, sir, let it come. Unfortunately,
you're not backing down, Mr. Rijok?
No, sir, I am not. And
you will not apologize?
No, sir, I will not. I will not only not apologize, I will now continue to say that the Skerrit regime has changed from becoming an actual government by and for the people. It is now a criminal organization whose sole aim is to make as much money as quickly as possible for its participants and conspirators, and damn the people of Dominica, pardon my language, because they are the ones who later will have to pay for this problem. Remember what happened in Antigua with the Alan Stanford scandal, how the economy went into the toilet, how the other nations of the Western Hemisphere pointed fingers at the Antiguan government. Why for years would they allow something as obvious as Alan Stanford's Ponzi scheme to exist? Dominica, I fear, might be headed for the same direction, and as such, it's frightening, because if there really are huge amounts of money being taken by individuals in the government and individuals in the so-called program of agents who refer business to the CBI program, it's too much cash coming in for them to ever stop it. So I have to continue with my statements, and I have to continue to speak the truth, because otherwise what we're seeing is that in the future, Dominica will cease to become a democracy. It will start to take on all of the entrails of a dictatorship, and personal freedom will be radically reduced. Do we really want to have a bunch of Dominicans have to leave their own country and become expats to experience democracy?
But here's the question that many may be asking. Of course, it depends on what side of the fence that you are, you will believe or not believe. What is your objective? Because it has been said in Dominica that you have caused great controversy. What is your objective, Mr. Rijok?
The objective of a journalist is to get at the truth. The objective of a journalist is not to take sides, but to objectively report on the truth and give each side an opportunity to have their particular position stated. And my affiliation with any group, whether they be opposition or with the government or otherwise, is non-existent and has always been so. And all of these statements that I'm taking money from the opposition, that I'm a tool of the opposition, are just another example of what we call shoot the messenger. If you're trying to basically confuse the issue, then point your finger at the messenger so that his message doesn't get through. I mean, I have made no bones about my background. 40 years ago, I was involved in financial crime, not drug trafficking, not crimes of violence. And I have worked with many different law enforcement agencies in this hemisphere since then. So therefore, all of these horrible statements calling me an ex-con totally ignore the fact that all of my civil rights were restored by a proclamation of the governor of the state of Florida. I voted in an election. I served on the jury. I can even run for public office. I'm not under any disability, and therefore, I have the freedom to speak the truth.
Okay, let me ask you again. So, Mr. Asafan has threatened through his lawyers, of course, to serve you. Let me get rest assured. I just want to repeat that by the quote there. Rest assured, by today on Monday, Matt Peltier will be receiving a letter. Thompson Fontaine will be receiving a letter, and one will be emailed to the Chamber of Lawrence, and Lawrence to Mr. Rijok, where he is, and he will have to come down to give evidence. Will he come down and give evidence in this?
Well, that all depends upon what whatever lawyer I retain to assist me orders me to, and whether or not this case will ever go to trial, whether or not it will be dismissed, and whether or not the judges will be objective enough with respect to the rule of law. The rule of law seems to be disappearing in Dominica in favor of a dictatorship. So also remember this, that even if a case is filed against me and some sort of kangaroo court brings a judgment, there's always the right of appeal in a more democratic situation. So it's not over till it's over, Matt, and it hasn't even begun yet.
So you won't apologize at all?
No, sir. And not only will I not apologize, I will call out Mr. Scarrett and Mr. Astafan in public to testify at that case, and I will start to bring out all of the dirty laundry for the past 15 years because it's relevant to this action. If they're going to charge me with defamation of character, then I will define their character in an open court situation. And you know that the global media will be there with bells on to report this. They will give Dominica a black eye like it's never seen before.
And Mr. Rijok, on the weekend, let's leave that one alone for now. On the weekend, you also reported another interesting story about Dominica on the blog?
Well, sir, I am constantly putting up more stories, and I don't put them up too often because I need to have the people of Dominica, frankly, digesting it. And the latest story, of course, is the fact that if you peel back the onion, you see that the Prime Minister went on a trip to China and spoke to a number of Chinese companies whose sole interest is to take wealthy Chinese and move their assets out of China where they're safe, and also to give them economic passports. The problem with that is that, as you know, the Chinese language is totally different from our Romance letters. We are in the English language world here, and as such, to give people coming from the Chinese language, which is very difficult to transliterate or translate into English, there will be opportunities for career criminals, for corrupt government officials, for terrorists, financiers, as well as narcotics traffickers, to move their money to Dominica because they won't come up on any sanctions list with an alias. And for Dominica to try to attract Chinese creates a clear and present danger for banks in North America and the European Union. I also posted a picture that the CBI program had at a recent conference where they are flat out saying that in the future they'll be able to get a driver's license for you and a utility bill. Well, the driver's license is the primary means of identification in a due diligence investigation if the person has no passport. Therefore, they're going to create a new identity, an alias, for their customers. That will make it impossible for anybody pursuing due diligence to find out who they are. That is like open season, and we do not need to have a situation like that plane load of Chinese with East Caribbean passports trying to come into Canada and being declined. We do not need to have the economic passport programs so devalued and so dangerous that they will not be honored by the world's democracies. The CBI program, if properly administered, is a godsend for the East Caribbean countries. But if it is taken over by a bunch of bullies and greedy politicians, it becomes a nightmare of racketeering or criminal conduct. So the reason that I wrote the article, Matt, is because to openly solicit Chinese nationals opens the door for potential major money laundering issues.
Mr. Kenneth Rijok, of course, we'll keep in touch with Mr. Rijok, asking some very important questions there. This is Q. Thank you very much. A very interesting conversation there with Kenneth Rijok there.
Belfast Estate Limited.
Of course, Mr. Astafan threatening to sue But that seemed to be a turnaround, according to the DNO, from claims he made in February that a lawsuit against Rejok would be too expensive and a waste of time. He said then we were told that suing him would be an extraordinary waste of time because of what he writes is such utter garbage. The government would be wasting money. The best thing for us to do would be to ignore him and to focus on what is being said in Dominica. Let's see what goes, huh? At 9:10 is the morning time.
Mr. Peltier,
How you doing? Sorry for cutting you off abruptly earlier.
I realized that. I said, since I realized you have Mr. Rejok on, I said, and a lot of people say, why you keep asking Matt, are you there with me? You see how it's important? When I
Yes.
say, are you there with me, and Matt not there, when I tune in, you have Rejok on.
Uh-huh.
I know the man time is not yours. I can spare my time because it's all about sacrifice.
Thank you for understanding, brother.
You're most welcome, bro. Dominicans, we have to sacrifice to save ourselves. Everything we have to sacrifice. Matt, you see, it's very interesting, and I heard Tony myself when he said that it would be a waste of time and waste of money or too expensive and all of that. But now, guess what? Something as that cannot be ignored.
The pressure is on.
He has to come with projection, dissipation, and then amnesia kicks in. But you get in my drift?
Yes.
You see, they usually come and they just throw things in the air, everybody will, and then that disappear. And then everybody forget. You know, Skerrit said that April 21st, Matt. I told them, Matt, I'm on the record saying not April 21st, it's April 1st. Because it really take Dominicans for fools.
But I heard the Prime Minister saying this morning that he had a discussion with the Americans.
Matt, I mean, come on. That brother will say anything, and he will do. Matt, remember, I have said that. Unless maybe they might send some executioners and get me anytime, because I know these guys will stop at nothing. They will neutralize people who oppose them. Because where they at right now, Matt, they do not want to be disturbed. They cannot afford to be disturbed because it's all about their lives and the wealth they have accumulated overnight, Matt. Matt, I was talking about the police force. So, yeah, when I made that point about the police force, that's before I get caught up, I think.
Yeah.
And Matt, it is frightening. And I am asking what trump card those Skerrit holds that we don't know. How can you threaten the people who are responsible for the security of the state? That is a threat. How can you victimize them? How can you push them around and play in your favoritism and junior officers being favored over senior and well-established and educated and experienced guys? Matt, it is sickening. It is frightening. And you said at Fort Young, Matt, it's not at the State House now.
I'm sorry, at the State House this morning.
Because
Yes.
I want to be there. If it's Fort Young, I'm going to be
9 o'clock conference room of the State House.
I know they will not allow me entry, Matt. But
It's a public occasion. Why would they not allow your entry?
And you said the opposition, I only heard Joshua Francis. Is that really the opposition, or is
No, the entire opposition was invited.
But I heard it on DBA, on Kyrie, on DBS.
No, there was another conference planned by Mr. Parry Ballot on Friday night.
Oh, okay. Well, my bad. Subject to correction, and I give thanks. Not the other thing. To deceive our people, and Mr. Corbett, blessings to you, he said it, and I've said it. Not to deceive our people first, you have to keep them distracted. You have to keep them entertained, and you have to feed them with humor, Matt. And that's what these guys are doing. And really and truly, Matt, it is sad to see where we are. And the people who knows better, all of a sudden they're giving up their country for pennies, Matt. They're going to give up Dominica because they can sell a few passports or they can get a few positions on a board and all of that and allow Roosevelt Skerrit. But that is where we are. It's not where we're heading. Taking Dominica deeper down into the abyss of international scrutiny and then sanction eventually, Matt. I am telling Dominicans, let us just sit and wait for what is already upon us. Have a blessed day, bro.
Okay, let's take another phone call. Of course, we'll be talking to Friske Lash in the Fort Young Hotel sometime this morning. Try to get you a piece of what's going down there at the conference room of the State House this morning is being carried live on Kyrie and DBS Radio. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, good morning, Nathan Spelty, and how are you?
To you, sir.
Yeah, I'm Edin Katsenval here.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I would like to commend Bernard Frampton for a wonderful article that he has written.
Well done.
Yeah, and certainly, Matt, you know, it is very difficult to fathom, for any Dominican to fathom that there are thousands of passports out there. But again, it is not far-fetched, because it was the Prime Minister himself, when he brought the delegate to Dubai to celebrate, it was the Prime Minister himself who told the nation that there are thousands of people out there with Dominican passports who are eager to celebrate our independence, just like, who don't know Dominica, and are eager to celebrate our independence, just like we Dominicans living in Dominica.
You remember that, huh?
Oh, yes, I remember that clearly, Matt. So that is why he had to take the delegation up there. He said thousands of Dominicans. So it is not far-fetched. What Mr. Rijok has said, it's not far-fetched, if I have to believe what the Prime Minister said. Now, on the conference this morning, Matt, if I had the last say, I don't think the opposition should attend.
Well, from my contact with a few opposition officials, they've said that they won't be attending.
Yes, Matt, because we are on a campaign that Skerrit and his administration must go because of what they have done to Dominica. They have tarnished Dominican image overseas. So if we go to the conference, we will be legitimizing their staying in office. So that is why I believe the opposition should not attend the conference. Have a very good morning, Matt. God bless you and all the best.
Thank you very much. As I said to you, from my information, a few opposition officials will not be going to the conference this morning. The Dominica government will be hosting a consultation on the development prospects for Dominica within the context of the CBI. They won't be going. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, Matt.
Yes.
Matt, with regards to the clipping, the interview Carla had with the members of the Police Welfare Association.
Yes.
A senior police officer, since a couple of years ago, talked about the morale in the police force. I just sent you the clipping. You must play it to Krong, what you played there with the interview. Matt did. He talked about it since a couple of years ago. I just sent it for you on your phone. Check your WhatsApp.
All right, I'll check it out. Thank you very, very, very much. Hello, talk to me. Again, we'll be talking to the Fortune Hotel. And there's something interesting happening today. And, of course, Pris Kailash out of Castries will also be our guest for a few minutes. Hello, talk to me. 449-3095. In the meantime, we continue to engage you. Hello.
Good morning, Matt.
To you, sir.
Well, Matt, the way I hear Mr. Rijok right there before that this remains as allegation, but Matt, I'll tell you straight, Rijok seems to be playing them, and the first thing they jump on is lawsuit. Maybe that's a good thing, so that when people are drawn to the court, then they can bring the necessary evidence. So that probably is a good thing. Now, moving away from that, Matt, I mean about a consultation that the government is having for development purposes. Matt, let me tell you, the government has had several consultations.
So why will it not be going? It's a public forum, right?
So it's a public forum. I don't know about it. I may well pass there, but what I'm saying is that, listen to what I'm saying is that the government has conducted several consultations in the past. And Matt, most of the information gathered, I suppose, are still relevant today and that they can use. What is the difference? Because the consultations they have conducted in the past, the information, it is there, it is there. And Matt, let me just tell you, that's nothing new, because the United Workers' Party had an economic forum sometime in 2013, and the government instead, they embraced some of the ideas that these guys were bringing forward. They brushed it aside. So that's a work in progress. It's not nothing like about a new thing. So what is happening there is just about recycling ideas, because consultations have been conducted in the past, and we have not heard anything from it. From your consultation, you develop a strategic plan so that you develop this country constructively. We have not heard anything yet, just like the consultation they had in agriculture. And they never had anything going forward with agriculture. So, Matt, that is not new, but I just want to congratulate you for the work that you are doing. And I suspect that you are not intimidated at all. Have a good morning.
No, not if I'm, of course, in search of the truth for the people of Dominica. I'll keep asking the questions. You know, a lot of people say, Matt, are you not scared? Scared of what? 919, hello. Tony Astafans, hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Matt, once again, I want to make an appeal.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to sound like a songling brass. And
Sound like a stock record, huh?
like an old brook record. I want again to ask solid waste. That's the 10th week.
Are you not talking to your power? Would he do anything for you?
Palrep? No, that is not Palrep's work. That is my personal thing and my personal private home.
But it seems that he would have some influence in that regard.
So I can tell him, but how you call it?
I guarantee you pass that message to your power.
Is hearing, because I have spoken to them on previous occasions, right? And it is not a want, it is a need, because that thing is piling, and it is, and I saw, and my wife cannot handle that to do anything about it, right? So again, I am appealing, or else I will have to approach the minister or higher authorities, and I don't want to do that. So I am again appealing to the people at Solid Waste, make a way to dispose of that garbage for me, please.
All right, I'm hoping that they will, and they are listening this time, and the message is well passed. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Hello.
Matt, to you and to others,
Mm-hmm.
very thin line between being cautious and being courageous. Do not let down your guards. Not about being afraid. It's not about being afraid. A coward or a fool can be mistaken for a brave person, you know. A fool. Because most of the time people run. If I see a man coming in a cutlass mat and I have not any martial art abilities or expertise, I will be running for my life because I have nothing to defend myself against that. Are you getting my argument, my brother?
I follow you, your every word.
If you are afraid, do not be afraid, but please be cautious, because these honorable criminals, they are dangerous and they will get even more vicious.
I heard Rijok says we are running a criminal enterprise.
Blessings. I heard it myself.
922. For Chung, I'll be calling you in a minute there. Hello, talk to me.
Morning to you, my first spell case, sir.
Yes, sir.
I traveled to Kalibishi over the weekend.
All right.
And believe me, I cannot believe I am from Dominica, the nature island of the Caribbean.
What's wrong, my brother?
Boss, rubbish all along the highways and byways. What is happening to solid waste? Matt, we need to have a national discourse and consultation as to the way forward to our solid waste management on this island. Matt, you had callers calling about men in behind dumpers and trucks in the rubbish, which is not healthy for them. Matthew, you're Mr. Paul from La Plaine, my good friend. Good morning, Mr. Paul. 10 weeks now they haven't picked up basic garbage. If a government cannot manage garbage, a government cannot manage people's lives. But this government is bankrupt and this government must go. Honestly, because they cannot manage rubbish. If you travel to Maho in a bus stop shelter full of rubbish, you travel along Dominica and rubbish. We need to have a national consultation about solid waste and the way forward to better health and management. This brings rodents. This thing brings cockroaches. Boss, Dominica, we need to take our health.
Oh, boy, you seem very frustrated there, Mikey. 924.
Yes, Mr. Matt Pelte, how are you, brother?
How you doing, sir?
Okay, and let me just say something on that Rijok situation with those passports.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of smoke in the air, and by the time the smoke clear, we will be all bombarded. Why is the government afraid to call a public inquiry? Because that is the only thing that can solve the problem. Because a lot of passports have been selling. We don't know how many passports are sold, how many citizens we have. So there is talk. So the only way to bring about
get the answers that you're looking for, have a public inquiry?
Yes, man. We want a public inquiry. We've been saying that a long time. What is all the hanky-panky about?
The next few minutes we're spending with the Fortune Hotel. Kishma, good morning to you. Pleasant good morning to you.
Ashma.
Ashma, I said I first Ashma.
Good morning, Matt, and pleasant good morning to our listeners.
How are you doing this morning, Ashma?
Good, I'm good, thanks.
Good. What's going on at the Fortune today?
So you know, Matt, we're going to be talking about Wednesday. So you know it's Administrative Professionals Day, and we're having lunch in collaboration with Dominica Association of Administrative Professionals. That's on Wednesday, April 26th.
Okay. So what's on the agenda for Wednesday?
So we're having a lunch in the Marquis Hall. That's from 12 noon until 2:30. Our chef, Nitisha, put together a delicious menu for us. I'm going to give you the details of that menu.
I can't wait.
So we have a selection of soups. We have pumpkin and corn soup. Then we have salad. So for our salad selection, we have tomato and mozzarella salad with a sweet and sour Christophine. And for your main course, we have stuffed coconut chicken in a red wine sauce. And that is all served with lasagna de legumes, bacon and beans, raisin rice, 3 jewels of Dominica. And for dessert, we have red velvet and chocolate rounds and fruit truffle. And that menu, Matt, is only $70 EC. So I'm just going to run that by you again. So our soup, we have pumpkin and corn soup. We have our salad, we have tomato and mozzarella salad with sweet and sour Christophine. And for our main course, we have stuffed coconut chicken in red wine sauce. We also have fish rolls, and that is all served with lasagna de legumes, bacon and beans, raisin rice, 3 jewels of Dominica. And for dessert, we have our red velvet and chocolate rounds with fruit truffle. So that is what we have on that menu.
So at the price of what?
$70 EC per person. And of course, for reservations, you can always call us at 448-5000, or you can email us at info@fortunehotel.com. So that is all happening on Wednesday, 26 April. We're inviting all the companies. Treat your staff to that special day. It's Administrative Professionals Day. And that's all happening at the Fortune Hotel in the Marquis Hall. And of course, our functions team have put together some special treats for everyone coming to that event on Wednesday.
Thank you so much. I hope somebody invites me that day so we can have lunch, okay?
No problem. We'll see about that.
Take care now. Take care. All right.
Why choose the Fortune Hotel? Besides having the most comfortable setting and magnificent views, they offer a taste of the Caribbean's best cuisine. You may want to hop on over with your favorite circle of friends for Unwine Wednesdays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and enjoy wine specials, mouth-watering kebabs, and live entertainment. Drop by for our Seafood Saturdays displayed on our live buffet table. Lobsters, snapper, redfish, lionfish, and have our chef prepare it just the way you want, served with the most savory accompaniments and sauces. And every Sunday, join us for brunch from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the Marquis Restaurant for a Sunday well spent that will bring a week of content. Like us on Facebook or call 448-5000 to reserve your table. All of this and more is at the Fortune Hotel. Dine with us today.
The sweet sounds of jazz and Creole. Dominica is calling. Unwind and chill May 28th to June 3rd at the Evergreen, Anchorage and Fortune Hotels, Urban Garden Cafe, Hotel de Champs, Atlantic View and Riverstone Bar and Grill. Then on to Fort Shirley on June 4th for a day of true Nature Island vibes. Presented by the Government of Dominica with headline partner Discover Dominica Authority. Visit dominicafestivals.com for more information. May 28th through June 4th, 2017. Dominica's Jazz and Creole, a smooth island vibe.
There is a massive 15% discount going on right now at D&D Hardware on Federation Drive on all plumbing items. Get new rivals on faucets, shower valves, hoses, water heaters, connectors, space basins, toilet sets, plumbing and fixtures and fittings. D&D, we have all the right parts you're looking for. Also get an additional instant 15% discount on all hardware purchases when you let D&D experts do your installations for you. Also get an additional 5% discount on all your PVC pipes. Go on now to D&D Hardware on Lower Federation Drive. Famous only for the best quality, most highly recommended elbow pipes, washers, silicone sealants, bushings, all fixtures and fittings. Can't find an item? D&D Hardware can source any hard-to-find item for you. This massive 15% discount goes on until May 2nd. Call 449-0542-285-9643 to ask about our special. Save big at D&D Hardware Plumbing and Electrical Supplies today. At 15% discount, everything is going fast.
I'll take a small.
XL, that's the size for me. Flow's new prepaid combo plans have the most choice and value for everyone. Save up to 90% by combining your talk, text, and data into one simple plan. And with options starting at just $15.99, it's easy to say it, type it, or share it. A whole lot more for a whole lot less. Dial *129# now to activate. The bigger you go, the bigger you save with Flow's new prepaid combo plans. This is how we flow.
It's we versus them as Bright Opens presents a Cube Mobile Cup. Third test match, West Indies versus Pakistan, Windsor Bank Stadium, May 10th to 14th, Dominica. Partners include Digicel, Scotiabank, JetBlue Airways, Blue Waters, Joma, Dominica Cricket Association. Stands $14, East End $30, grounds $25. West Indies versus Pakistan, May 10th to 14th for Dominica.
The DPSU invites all members and all patriots to a rally for the cause Thursday, April 27th on the grounds of the DPSU building from 4:30 p.m.
We shall overcome.
DPSU, united in purpose, united in action. Come share in our luncheon on Friday, April 28th and our wireless walk to Spanning Falls on Monday, May 1st. May Day from 9 a.m. Public officers, police officers, fishermen, teachers, firemen, prison officers, all patriots rally for a just cause. Join us on Thursday, April 27th. Them belly full, but we hungry. Find the money. We say no to 000. And don't forget to pick up your DPSU t-shirts, only $30.
Do you want to drive longer for less? New state-of-the-art Rubis Ultratech gasoline and diesel fuel uses advanced fuel technology to optimize your vehicle's performance and improve its fuel economy. By removing deposits, Ultratech helps keep your engine clean and running like new. What does this really mean for you? Simple. You drive longer and save money. Fuel the difference with Rubis Ultratech fuel. Get Rubis. Get going.
Costa canned fish is here. Costa tuna and mackerel in a variety of delicious sauces, all available at unbeatable prices. Tuna flakes and chunks in oil and water as low as $1.90. Costa mackerel in oil, chili and tomato sauce as low as $1.90 for 7-ounce cans and $3.70 for 15-ounce cans. Hurry now to Esar Trading Limited and save today.
Time to sleep, darling.
Dad, are there any monsters under the bed?
Not while I'm here. You're safe and sound.
Feeling cared for, protected, and secure. It's a feeling that every Massey United Insurance customer knows. After all, they're in the same safe hands, protected by our financial strength, stability, and experience, and cared for by our team. Now, all our customers are even more secure with the sound strength of Massey. It's a great feeling. Massey United Insurance. To learn more, contact our agents, JB Charles and Company Limited at 448-2876, CAM Dupini Inc. at 448-3012, and LA Dupini and Company Limited at 448-2310.
After the rather ridiculous spectacle on Q95 yesterday when Mr. Rijok was invited by...
Time to sleep, darling.
Dad, are there any monsters under the bed?
Not while I'm here. You're safe and sound.
Feeling cared for, protected, and secure. It's a feeling that every Massey United Insurance customer knows. After all, they're in the same safe hands, protected by our financial strength, stability, and experience, and cared for by our team. Now, all our customers are even more secure with the sound strength of Massey. It's a great feeling. Massey United Insurance. To learn more, contact our agents, JB Charles and Company Limited at 448-2876, CAM Dupini Inc. at 448-3012, and LA Dupini and Company Limited at 448-2310.
A very busy Monday morning. And I did tell you this morning we'll be making touch with Castries and Pris Kailash. Already some people are making appointments through me for Pris Kailash, who visits next week. Let's say good morning to Pris Kailash and Castries, St. Lucia this morning. Pris, good morning.
Yes.
A blessing, man.
Yeah, blessed, love, honorable, and we do give thanks for life and a mighty life giver. And definitely we give thanks, for love, which is the greatest gift of all, So, we definitely will be with the people of Dominica very shortly. And as you said, people are already making appointments through you, and already, I'm already getting appointments via the email. So everyone who wants to see us, and make it your time this time. Don't wait until another day. This is your opportunity to come in and sit down with us. And we're going to have a wonderful session. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a session whereby we are going to be educating the people, teaching them of, how to move forward to eradicate most of the whole female problems. So it's not only going to be just coming for consultations. That's this time around on the Thursday evening specifically. Thursday evening from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Fort Young Hotel in the big conference room. We are going to have a wonderful session when it comes to the whole aspect of dealing with fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, infertility. We are going to be demonstrating the different therapies that one could actually administer to help to take care of the fibroids and the polycystic ovarian syndrome and the infertility. What we are going to do specifically is that we are going to be showing you exactly how to prepare the poultices, how to apply the poultices over the womb area to help shrink the fibroids or make the cyst disintegrate or get reabsorbed into your ovaries. We are going to show you some moxibustion, how to use moxa to help to deal with polycystic ovarian syndrome and fibroids. We're also going to illustrate, how to create what we call an insert for women suffering with dysplasia or metaplasia when it comes to the whole aspect of problems within the sex, So people with also prolapse womb, that same insert, we're going to demonstrate exactly how to create that so you could see what you have to do as a woman to keep yourself well and healthy. Specifically, we're going to also demonstrate how to do some green juices to help to alkalize the physical structure of the women who are suffering from polycystic ovarian syndrome and they cannot see a menstrual flow. We're going to be showing them exactly how to create specific green juices from wild herbs grown wild there in Dominica that they could utilize to help to, bring back that cycle. And for those with anemia, those people who have the fibroids and they hemorrhage immensely and they lose lots of blood and they're suffering from low iron levels, we are going to utilize herbs from right there in Dominica that they could see that they could use to help to boost back up the iron and the energy levels. So we are inviting the people also, because we'll be there from the Monday afternoon, Monday evening. So from the Tuesday, we'll be having consultations at the Fort Young Hotel. Also, we'll be having what we call live blood analysis, whereby, we'll be utilizing a screen and a microscope, whereby a drop of blood will be extracted from the fingertips, and you could actually see your own blood underneath the microscope on the screen. So you could see exactly how how free your red blood cells are moving, to see whether you have any fungus in the blood or any parasites in the blood, to see, how your white blood cells are, if you have a sufficient balance of white blood cell and red blood cell in a particular area, if your blood is crumbled up, also they have different conditions. You could actually see within your blood, even fatty droplets, and sugar droplets in the blood. So what we are actually going to do, we offer you that opportunity so you could get educated about your physical structure, and then you could be motivated to change your lifestyle. So all these things that will be available, so the people who want to see us, what they do specifically, they could send us an email at blessedlove, that's BLESSEDLOVE, at priestkailash.com, not Prince Kailash, as I'm known in them, priest, wet, priestkailash.com. That is blessedlove, BLESSEDLOVE, at priestkailash.com, or you could send us a WhatsApp, that is +1758 722 3660. That is +1758 722 3660, +1758 722 3660. We'll be coming with the male package, the female package, also there's a powder we have called a mineral powder for people, to have to balance their minerals and actually boost up their iron levels, and also to alkalize their physical structure. We'll be coming with the male package, female package, a prosperity for the man, making the man more potent. Every man should get a male package, including his prosperity, to boost up his prostate and also to help his sexual function, right? And the woman, we now have a female package for you, even if you don't want to get pregnant, because even people are afraid to take it sometimes. You got to say, oh, boy, you don't want to get pregnant. So you don't keep your womb dirty just because you don't want to get pregnant. You exercise self-control and be very fertile. So definitely, we give thanks again for Q95 and the family of Dominica, and all blessings and prosperity going out to Mr. Bihanzin and Mr. Dr. Pascal there, and Nasio Fontaine and family, yourself, Matt. Give thanks for the love continually, and may the Almighty bless and keep the people of Dominica, and stay focused on the love aspect of things, and stay focused, on our nation, because you have a wonderful nation, blessed with all the herbs, and we're going to be there next week, starting from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we're leaving on the Friday. So book your consultations, come to the lecture, get also the herbal manual also available, the herbal manual, the Mysteries of Herbal Medicine, our new herbal book. All our medicines are at Jay's Bookshop, and the herbal medicine book is also at the Jay's Bookshop. May the Almighty God bless and keep you, and make His holy face shine upon your holy face.
Blessed, my brother up in Castro is Priest Kailash. I just reminded you again that the government of Dominica hosting a consultation on the development prospects for Dominica within the context of the Citizenship by Investment program. Let me see if I can share some of what is going on there at the State House this morning. Let's find out.
But our hearts are in the right places. We all love Dominica and want the best for Ireland home. I do believe that this is true for the majority of patriotic and peace-loving Dominicans, whether resident here or in the diaspora. We have much more, ladies and gentlemen, in common than we let on. If then the objectives, visions, mission statements of our key state institutions, non-governmental organizations are true, and I firmly believe that they are, then we as a people must come to the realization that once united in purpose, we can remain on a correct path to our country's development, with one caveat, that we remain true to our respective missions and vision, that all speak of advancing Dominica through different approaches. It therefore follows from this awareness that we as a people in our respective agencies, organizations, both government and non-government need each other and must continue to find common ground as we collaborate as partners and drivers of the development process.
Time to sleep, darling.
Dad, are there any monsters under the bed?
Not while I'm here. You're safe and sound.
Feeling cared for, protected, and secure. It's a feeling that every Massey United Insurance customer knows. After all, they're in the same safe hands, protected by our financial strength, stability, and experience, and cared for by our team. Now, all our customers are even more secure with the sound strength of Massey. It's a great feeling. Massey United Insurance. To learn more, contact our agents, JB Charles and Company Limited at 448-2876, CAM Dupini Inc. at 448-3012, and LA Dupini and Company Limited at 448-2310.
In other news, NBD has dropped their interest rate on vehicle loans to 7.5%.
Babe, turn up the volume on the radio.
The bank encourages customers to take advantage of this opportunity to get full financing on a vehicle with this low rate from now until May 15.
Did you hear that? 7.5% interest rate and full financing?
What's more, 3 lucky customers will get their vehicle license paid for up to 3 years. Visit a branch, call 255-2300 or go to nbdominica.com for more information and other terms and conditions.
Hun, I'm off to NBD.
Babe, wait for me.
Apply for your vehicle loan today. NBD, your partner, your bank.
That we hold in the organizations and institutions that we are part of. We have to then feed this devotion into a new energy, a new consciousness, a new national spirit. It is my hope that this consultation on development prospects is the first of many as we chart our course for the development of our small, vulnerable, but increasingly united island state. Today's format is simple. We have continued with an address, a presentation from the Financial Secretary, and then I hand over to Ambassador Lambert to take care of the panel discussion. We then end with our closing remarks from the Honorable Prime Minister, hopefully before lunch or somewhere around 12:30. I thank you for listening.
We continue to monitor this government consultation. Let's go over now to the Financial Secretary for her opening remarks. Let's listen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, His Excellency Eliud Williams, former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, members, honorable members of the Cabinet, other members of Parliament, Your Excellency Steve Farrell, Secretary to the Cabinet, Your Excellency Edward Lambert, Principal Advisor in the Office of the Prime Minister, other ambassadors, permanent secretaries, panelists, Dr. Lennox Honeychurch, Ms. Karen Williams, Mr. McCarthy Marie, Dr. Eisenhower Douglas, Monsignor Eustace Thomas, other invited guests, members of the media, those listening via the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In this presentation, I will outline the Citizenship by Investment Program, the process, and to place in context the financing of government programs and other programs of economic development utilizing the CBI resources. It is assumed that economic growth and development of our country is a goal that every citizen desires. It is also generally expected that economic growth and development is the best way to reduce poverty levels and improve the quality of life of all people. That notwithstanding, while growth prospects are pursued, there is a responsibility to assist those in need of special support, social protection. This twin pillar approach is clearly spelled out in the government's Growth and Social Protection Strategy, GSPS. The GSPS identifies physical infrastructure as a binding constraint on the attainment of our country's growth objectives. Thus, government continues its relentless pursuit of its two-pronged strategy of sectoral development, including physical infrastructural development, while at the same time ensuring that adequate social protection measures are in place to cater to the needs of the less fortunate segments of the population. We are all fully aware of the additional challenges to our country's physical infrastructure created by Tropical Storm Erika. In that context, I quote from the public information notice issued by the International Monetary Fund at the conclusion of the last Article 4 mission conducted in March of this year. And I quote, "Since Tropical Storm Erika in August 2015, government's efforts continue to focus on infrastructure rehabilitation and social relief while addressing fiscal sustainability. Significant efforts and resources were allocated to the reconstruction of public infrastructure and support to the affected population, while the first generation of fiscal measures committed in the Rapid Credit Facility disbursement and some additional measures have been passed," end quote. Thus, the IMF recognizes the need to pay attention to infrastructure and social relief, even as government continues to pursue fiscal sustainability. The traditional way of financing public expenditure in development countries is through the imposition of taxes, grants, and loans. Every country has a tax regime that finances its day-to-day operations, including education, security, health, and communication. Increasingly, countries have recognized that they must be innovative and identify other ways for financing development and meeting the needs of their citizens. Citizenship by investment programs have been implemented in many countries all over the world, developed and developing countries, as a means of encouraging investments in both the private and public sectors. It should be noted that countries have various regimes through which an individual can qualify and apply to become a citizen. For example, in Dominica, a person not born in Dominica, but who has lived continuously in Dominica for a given period of time, can apply to the government to become a citizen. By the same token, if that person meets the requirements, a person who applies on the Citizenship by Investment program is issued the same naturalization certificate as is issued to other naturalized persons. A Citizenship by Investment program is therefore only one of the means by which an individual can become a citizen. It is a means through which an individual can obtain citizenship, and through that process, government can raise much needed revenues. The Economic Citizenship Program was introduced to Dominica by the Freedom Party administration under the late Dame Mary Eugenia Charles. And the rationale then was to increase inflows of foreign direct investment to the country and to facilitate the implementation of development projects which would be financed by a means other than by loans or taxes. This still remains the rationale today. Throughout the years, successive governments put forward changes to the program with a view to making it more relevant to its time. And in recent years, the Economic Citizenship Program, as it was called initially, was renamed and replaced with the term Citizenship by Investment Program. And so the CBIP in Dominica is governed by SRO 37 of 2014, as amended in 2016. These regulations provide two paths to citizenship.
Discussion, of course, on the CBI continues in Dominica. Consultation now ongoing. Read the development prospects for Dominica within the context of the CBI. This consultation continues at the conference room of the State House. Stick around.
For all your shopping needs at the best prices in Dominica, shop at S-Mart. Shop smart at S-Mart.
Shop smart at S-Mart. Give me some Lotto.
All my favorite snacks.
Shop smart at S-Mart. I get a top-up flow and digital. Shop smart at S-Mart.
Sunday to Sunday.
Open on holidays. Shop smart at S-Mart. So much fresh fruit and produce.
Good quality service. Yeah. Unlimited parking. Yeah. All the best products at S-Mart. You get the best prices.
Shop smart at S-Mart for great prices and unlimited parking. Entrance and exit on both Goodwin Road and Rawls Avenue. Open 7 days a week for 448-2340. Shop smart at
S-Mart.
It's now a tradition, the annual Mania 7-Eleven Plus Supercenter Big Edge and Digicel Mother's Day Party at the Anchorage Hotel on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th from 6 p.m. to midnight. Featuring swinging stars, Mr. Mix, Matt in the Morning, DJ Soursop, Calypsonians, and Prince Wadix.
Do you have a dear mother?
Lots of prizes, complimentary free glass of wine and Tony's punch on entrance.
Mama, don't cry no more.
Entrance $20 and tickets are available from Bulltime Pharmacy, Smallex Mobile, Skitter in the Market, Bronx, Maveste, Mimi, and more.
In this place, certain men should hide their face. The way they treat their mothers at this place.
All the partners in good courts at Milan's Bar and Grill, Eastside Trading, Tony's Punch, Lex President's Hill, Anchorage Hotel, Caribbean, Eve's Deco, TVS Radio, QFM, and more. Take your mom, your mommy, your mother, your stepmother, adopted mother, godmother, grandmother, nenen to the Mother's Day party, Mother's Day, Anchorage Hotel, Bama Chesa.
Make sure your mommy okay.
Enjoy the simple things the joy Sultanza brings. Go from land to back, it's a good-natured snack. All natural, and in chips. Land to pack, it's a good-natured snack.
It's nature to you in no time. Pick up a pack of Soldanza today.
All natural, and in chips. Land to pack, it's a good-natured snack.
We'll continue to monitor the ongoing consultation there at the State House. 449-3095. We have 3 more minutes on the hot seat. Let's see if we can take 1 or 2 phone calls before we wrap it up here this morning on the hot seat. We'll be back. Talk on the block this afternoon. Hello. Hello. Somebody was trying to call in there. Hello.
Matt.
Yes.
So far what we heard that before. And there will be nothing different, Matt. Thank you.
All right. Well, I guess you can monitor sometime later, see if we'll hear anything else. Hello.
To you and the listening public. This is a prayer for all Dominicans.
Uh-huh.
Let not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Creator and do good, so shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself in the Creator, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Creator. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. We knew in the past accountability, transparency, honesty, truthfulness, justice, peace, and tranquility, love. But to today, from 17 years now, we know corruption, confusion, prostitution, segregation, deviation, manipulation, rejection, and molestation. And the other part of it is the tongue kills 7 times while the gun kills 1 time. People must be very careful in what they say. And Mr. Rijok, they are inviting you in the ring. You are welcome in the ring, so. Because Tony Astafan, he called you a liar, but he and Roosevelt, scary liar, had a discussion about Honorable Lennox with the IPO, and the whole world hear him lying blatantly. So I don't know what position he is to call somebody else is a liar, but time will tell. Dominica, don't be distorted. Do not be misled. Keep up. Be persuasive. Be tolerant. Have faith. Have confidence. We shall overcome. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Q90.